Here we have some of the basic shapes of a still life. Square, cylinder, triangle, which is connected to the cylinder, a circle, that's actually a ball that has mass, and we also have gestural shapes, linear lines connecting to a square. Now, these still life objects are in a row, basic row creating a flat space. What we need to do with the still life is create dynamics. Dynamics that will also have one, which is a term, overlap, the other, which will create spatial relationship. Overlap and spatial relationship. Just by rearranging, I have a foreground, middle ground, background, but yet they're all very linear. They're in a row. So let's do the dynamics. Lay it down. Let's begin by placing the ball in front to create overlap and push it up some. Now, sliding that aside, we just created a sense of dynamics because now we have a movement. See this movement going up, coming around. That gives you a chance to create that illusion in your drawing of space because we don't know really how far up this ball is from the square that is actually encompassing a circle. So let's begin to rearrange this still life where the dynamics shift, where we actually use something to carry our eye. So we'll add the linear movement. In your composition, this could actually be off frame. So when you draw, you're drawing the ball, the linear movement that's carrying me over, that brings me right back up to the triangle and cylinder shape. It's important to note that these arrangements that you make are called compositions. So you can actually create a different type of composition based on placement. And there's another two terms, your composition and your placement. The placement of the ball is low. We can place the ball high. Now that just changed my composition. My composition had a very strong foreground element, midground, background. Now I have these two in the same space. But this linear stuff, gestural movement, things that flop around, can bring me up into the space. But that's a little bit too confusing. We want it a little more subtle. There you go. So now you have a composition where this gestural space will carry me up, over, and into the triangle shape. But it all still stays within the same frame. So we also, within our composition, can move our POV, meaning point of view. Our point of view can shift. So instead of me looking at it straight on, I can also look at it from the side. Now I have an entire different composition. Now I have this element in the foreground, which is that square plug, and I also have the elements now flattening out because now they're almost in a row with each other, almost a square. Not too much dynamics in that one. We can also move to look at it from the top. And as we're looking from the top, we begin to have much better dynamics because now things are going away from us, coming down. All the elements are coming down away from us. This is just a way of seeing how to develop your still life. And that way you don't have to feel stuck just putting things together. One important aspect is scale. You have the large object, medium object, small. Depending on the position they're in, if we rearrange the still life, this can become your large, that would be your medium, and this would be your small. If we're not including the plug, then the smallest item would be here. That's number 1, your number 2, 3, and 4. So things move in scale. Remember, keeping a dynamic is very important because the dynamics of the movement will allow your drawing to feel dynamic and also feel very fresh.